So about an hour ago, there was an update on Octavia, the next frame, the new frame, the upcoming frame, and when it's coming. It literally said, coming soon, and give us the link to this webpage, which, by the way, will be in the description, because the very first part of it looks like it's the first part of this comic book thing, a graphic novel. I'm not really sure what it was called. But you can actually, it's like interactive, you can progressively work your way through this. If you do want to read this, again, link is in the description to come here, and it's just use the arrows on your keyboard to have a look through it. What I found more interesting here is there's a flying Ayatan sculpture there. Maybe more of that's explained. You'll have to come and have a look at it to find out. More importantly, and more to the point, is there's more information on Octavia. How she looks, the fact that this thing behind her head is a new weapon we'll get onto in a moment, and her actual abilities. I'm not sure which one. I think it's Metronome. That could actually be it, the one that allows you to make your own music. Could be Resonate. Not really sure which one does what yet, but you can make your own kind of tune for her. You can also purchase them from the marketplace if you're not music orientated. I did have an idea for this that I completely forgot about, which has left me kind of screwed. So Octavia is coming, and she does look like she's going to be really good. She is going to be behind a quest, which gets us on to the next one, called Octavia's Anthem. And this quest is going to be Cephalon Suda based, which I thought was quite interesting because from what they've shown of the UI, of the ability where you can make your own music, again, I think it was Metronome. They probably explained it and I've completely forgot because I've been overwhelmed by the hype this is here. I'm crossing my fingers this comes this week. But she is behind a quest. Cephalon Suda are going to host it, which means that Parent Sequence have had one, New Loca's had one, and now Cephalon Suda have one. That means every syndicate is going to have one. It means there's 3 left. So how they run those ones, I'm going to be quite interested. I still want to see what they do for Red Veil, because that could be quite... I'm not going law-based. No. Moving on. If you do decide to purchase her with Platinum before doing the quest, at the end of the quest, instead of getting her blueprint, you will get a ribbon for secondaries. This was confirmed in the forums yesterday or the day before. So if you do purchase her, you're not wasting the plat, and you will still get a reward that's actually usable, because if you've already got her and then do the quest, at the end of it you're just getting a useless thing. Whereas now you can actually get a ribbon for doing it instead of her blueprint. Her parts are going to be farmable after you do the quest, which I thought was quite nice. And then there's 2 interesting looking weapons that colour wise look very similar to Octavia herself. There is a secondary called Pandero is what I want to call it, but that came out wrong. It's a semi-automatic pistol that has an alternate fire that shoots the remaining magazine as just a burst of bullets. And I thought this was interesting because when I first read this, I thought, this is actually like the Azima, which was the 100 days login reward. But it doesn't shoot the disc, so it's not anywhere near that. Plus that's a fully automatic. This is a semi-automatic. Then there is the Tenora, which is a completely automatic rifle that gets faster the higher fire rate, the longer you shoot it. And it says it ramps up the fire rate and accuracy the longer you hold fire, which means it becomes more stable the longer you fire. This is what the Supra does. The Gorgon does it similar but has better accuracy. The Soma is probably the best of these style of weapons, so to knock the Soma off of its perch when it comes to weapons like this thing's going to have to be amazing, especially considering this also has an alternate fire which shoots a single charged shot, which is something that I liked about the Soma. When you shoot it, you can fire 1 or 2 rounds before it goes full auto, which is why I originally liked the Gorgon way back, because people told me you could do this, and then when I actually got around to using it, it didn't do it. But the Soma did, and still kind of does. So this having an alternate fire mode that does that also looks pretty interesting. And then lastly, there is also capture mode that's going to be coming in this, which basically allows you to do screenshots. You can pause time. There will be certain rooms that are based as the background for this. You can go in with any frame, weapons, things like that, and you can slow down time, stop time, and take screenshots without all of the numbers and everything, without having to turn your HUD off to do it, which is going to be really useful and really interesting to finally get a hold of, because since they showed this in the dev streams as well, all I've ever wanted to do is make like a wallpaper, especially recently because I'm still using a wallpaper for my desktop, which is, it's a Kubro from the Kubros Are Coming Soon era. So it's pretty old and I am getting sick of seeing it, so that's probably the first thing I'm going to do in there myself, but it has so many other uses. You cannot go in there and position the frame. You cannot move the arms and legs and things like that. It's based around the movement that you do with the frame itself. In-game movements, if you will. So it is kind of limited to things like that, but to be fair, that's all you really need. There's a lot of different stances and things like that that can get them into almost any position that you want to take screenshots of, and being able to slow down time and change filters and special effects and things like that, that could be really interesting. But the big thing about this is Octavia is definitely coming. It's no longer a, well, she's coming but we don't know when. It's more of a coming, but we still kind of don't know when. It could be this week or it could be next week. Because usually when they do this, it starts with every day there will be an update, so that there's 5 pages to this. So instead of this starting 5 days ago, all of this information has kind of appeared at once, which is leaving the question of, is this coming this week? Or is this coming today?